Will Ripple's new round of funding of $200 million help to catapult XRP to higher levels than we've seen before? It certainly seems that way. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I want to talk about Ripple's recent round of funding, approximately $200 million, and coming from some interesting investors. And of course, we know Ripple's goal is to boost adoption and utility of XRP. So let's go through the details here. And as a reminder, I hold XRP in my portfolio. It is my number one because I see the disruptive technology behind it and how it's going to be positioned. It's going to disrupt the money transfer financial world, guys. The way we move money is about to change. It's going to be as fast as data it currently moves, right? The way we can send text and email and videos, money's going to move as fast. And that's a really big disruption of what the current system looks like. And, I always try to give analogies of what happened in the dot-com era. We've seen companies like Google, Amazon, and many others disrupt the status quo, the old way of doing things. And likewise, Ripple is doing that. And it is a testament to that what Ripple is doing by them getting this investment money. So Ripple caps a record year with $200 million Series C funding. So they got that round of Series C funding, and the investment marks a record year for business and further proves the value of blockchain technology in improving cross-border payments and broader utility of the digital asset XRP and the XRP ledger. Now, guys, the series was led by Tetragon with participation from SBI Holdings and Route 66 Ventures. Who is Tetragon? Let's take a look. They are an investment company, and in their portfolio, they have a diversified alternative asset investment and management group with a portfolio totaling $2.3 billion, so a lot of assets, and it includes real estate, bank loans, private equity, other equities and credit. So they are not a crypto investment company. These are guys who are from the traditional asset investment world of things, right? So notice the bridge that's happening here. And once again, I bring up Google and Amazon because at one point, Google and Amazon, just like Ripple, were startups. And eventually, these investment firms start recognizing, wait a minute. There's disruptive technology happening here. And we know how that story unfolds for Google and Amazon and the others, right? So these companies are getting in early ahead of time. Who is Route 66 Ventures? Very similarly. Look at the title here, Disruptive Technology. Yeah, we love it. We are investors looking for entrepreneurs bent on reinventing the global financial services industry through thinking, cutting-edge technology, and judicious risk-taking. So notice they don't have they don't invest in like tons of crypto companies. And they are looking at Ripple as a disruptor of the financial markets, guys, and the way money's going to move. Now, I think all of us who've been in crypto and at least follow XRP and Ripple, we know about SBI Holdings. I don't need to beat the dead horse there, right? They are the giant Japanese conglomerate. They, of course, are bullish on XRP and Ripple, guys. So, of course, they're involved in this. And, here's a quote from Brad Garlinghouse. We are in a strong financial position to execute against our vision. As others in the blockchain space have slowed their growth or even shut down, we have accelerated our momentum and industry leadership through 2019. So that's Brad Garlinghouse. And this money is essentially going to help build all the respective corridors and the technology and the guardrails and lay down the tracks for XRP's growth. And part of that is through Spring, which they mentioned here. And we know that Spring, I've talked a lot about it on this channel. I've been interviewed people who got Spring investment money. You guys have seen the videos. Spring is where XRP is being injected into different ecosystems to boost adoption, such as gaming platforms, marketplaces, things like that. So not only is XRP going to be positioned to move money cross-border and speed up transactions, it's also going to be used for payments within ecosystems like gaming platforms and also micropayments via Coil and some of these other respective platforms, guys. So they're going to push the use of XRP, XRP Ledger, and in the Interledger protocol. So it's pretty clear here what their vision is. And once again, I like to look at things logically, factually, and when I see where the money is going, watch where the money is going. Tetragon, Route 66 Ventures, SBI didn't have to put altogether $200 million and give it to Ripple. They didn't have to do that. And believe me when I tell you, they don't want to lose money, right? These guys are investing to make a return. They may not make the return tomorrow, next year, but it could be a few years from now when Ripple completely takes over the movement of money, guys, with their disruptive technology. So really think about that. And I think about that. I'm not an investor in Ripple. I'm an investor in XRP. And obviously, the things that Ripple does can benefit XRP, but they are positioning XRP to be more decentralized, where its usage among different ecosystems and marketplaces can benefit overall the value of XRP, right, over time. And we're still very early, so the prices will catch up to this. Now, Ripple also published a blog post here talking about 2020, the year of the digital asset. And there's some interesting takeaways here where they call out, the skeptics and critics and so forth. Let me read part of it here. While the skeptics and critics might still view digital assets as a giant game of Jenga, just waiting for the wrong move to send all blocks tumbling down, we here at Ripple see the future of digital assets as more like a vast set of Legos. By carefully piecing them together, it's possible to reimagine familiar worlds or create entirely new ones. So they certainly see the adoption and maturation of digital assets, of course. And one item here that Brad Garlinghouse said, and he's certainly not wrong, because if you even saw my last video where I talked about ING and all these folks are going to be offering crypto trading services and custody services, he's spot on. CEO Brad Garlinghouse is even bolder, predicting that half of the top 20 biggest banks in the world will actively hold and trade digital assets in 2020. He's also one of the many on the team that believes fiat currencies will go digital in the next year. We know it's coming. The dialogue has started globally, central banks and so forth. And we know Brad has been rubbing shoulders with the IMF and the BIS and all these folks. So guys, the writing's on the wall. And I think, not financial or investment advice, but we just got to be patient. There's still so many things being rolled out here. And this is a big win for Ripple here, guys, and XRP, because once again, and I've said it many times, logically it would tell you if Ripple has a ton of XRP, right? We know that. They were gifted the XRP and so forth. And we have banks buying that XRP from them. And they're going to leverage XRP. If you have an asset, what would be your goal? To increase the usage and adoption of that asset and the value of that asset. Ripple is incentivized to have XRP go up. Now, there's people with tunnel short-term vision, which they just see the price as it is right now, and they're going nuts, right? And the market is very volatile, but eventually it's going to mature, and there's going to be more stability and growth is going to follow. But the pieces have to come together, as you can see here, right? All those Lego pieces, guys. And once again, look who's investing in them. This is no longer, some sort of crypto, bubble joke or about tweeting about this Bitcoin versus XRP. The big boys are getting in and they're dumping millions now. So I hope you guys see that, and I hope people who are still caught up in the fighting among the XRP community and all these things realize how big this is, because we are headed for the big leagues, and more things to come, but we got to be patient. Now, Michael Arrington, he is an investor in Ripple, believes in XRP. You guys know he started the Arrington XRP Capital, which is a hedge fund denominated in XRP. He tweeted the following: if you're perplexed as to why investors would aggressively invest in Ripple at a $10 billion valuation, the problem may be you, or you could just keep believing you're so smart and they're so dumb. So people are, of course, going nuts about the investment, not understanding and the valuation. Once again, it's like the same thing in the 90s where like, what's Google? Oh, why does it have that valuation? It's because of its disruptive potential, and Ripple's disruptive potential is huge, guys. We're talking about changing the way money moves. I mean, come on, this is game changing, right? It's on the level of Google and Amazon. It probably bigger because we're talking about movement of money globally. Interesting take there, and of course, the mainstream media is starting to pick up because once again, this is beyond crypto for a second here, right? You have the eyeballs of Silicon Valley big-time investors now. Ripple making a splash with its valuation hitting $10 billion today. Here, and they talk about it, right? They have videos here. I can't play the whole clip. I'll play part of it.
Take a look at this. It is a big-time move in XRP today, basically the parent company of Ripple. The crypto shooting higher after blockchain startup got an eye-popping valuation. Kay Rooney is out in San Francisco with the details when they set.
Now, not educated. XRP is the parent company of Ripple. What? Right? These guys are not educated. It's like, if you recall the video of Katie Couric and Brian Gumbel, I think it was, on the Today Show in the early 90s. What's internet? What's the @ in the email address? What do you do? Right? Very confused, not educated. That's how early we are. So count yourself lucky. And the trajectory that Ripple's on, guys, it's just amazing. It's above anything else that's happening in the crypto market. Not to say there's not other great projects. Like, I'm invested in Ethereum. I'm a big believer in Ethereum and its smart contract technology and some others. And obviously, I'm a holder of Bitcoin. XRP is my number one. Bitcoin's my number two, and Ethereum is my number three. So here you see the big headlines, right, guys? So Ripple's now on a different radar. It's getting big time. It's probably going to get more investors as a result. And SBI, what's important here, SBI, which is a big investor in Ripple and big believer in XRP, and obviously continues to invest in them, they are looking to expand as well. So Japan's SBI and Germany's Börse Stuttgart partnered to bring crypto assets across Asia and Europe. So now you have these giant conglomerates are now partnering to push crypto and digital assets. This is amazing. As part of the partnership, SBI will invest in Börse Stuttgart's regulated cryptocurrency trading platform, Börse Stuttgart Digital Exchange. The two firms did not disclose an investment amount. So, as I always say, watch what the big money is doing and watch what the governments are doing. We just talked about some big money. Want to know what the government's doing here? Members of Congress push IRS for tax clarity on crypto airdrops and forks. Why? I thought crypto's a fad. I thought this is all fake money. It's and some people have said this is garbage, right? No, it is a disruptive technology in its infancy stage that is slowly maturing, and there's still a lot of ambiguity. There's still some things that need to be ironed out, but that's in every new industry, right? Think about the Industrial Revolution in the United States and the building of the first car. Was it the most sophisticated car? Did it have problems? Blah, blah, blah. But yes, and then over time, those things were fixed and adjusted and matured. Now, same thing with the internet. There was the dial-up phase and things that people are still trying to figure out. How is this going to work and how is this going to happen? Those things get fixed over time, right? Trial and error, seeing what the market adopts, seeing what people, what technology is actually efficient and disruptive, and is it going to get adoption? So we are the start of a new revolution, and I hope you guys see the new tech revolution of blockchain and crypto digital assets. So big things are ahead. I'm really happy about this news that Ripple got this funding, because I know they're going to use that money to continue to push XRP adoption, guys. A lot of puzzle pieces coming together here. I'm very excited to see what 2020 brings. I know the price doesn't reflect all of these things, and maybe that's good, because last time it was a lot of hype. This time around, it's going to be backed by, of course, every market has some level of hype, but it can't be 100% hype. It has to be actual utility, adoption, actual working product, and some hype on top of it, right? And I think that's what we're seeing. A lot of people are maybe hoping for the massive hype we saw in 2017, but I think it's going to be different this time around. That's good. And that's where you have to look at the facts here and see what's unfolding, who's investing what's going on, and that'll tell the story of where we're headed. And of course, price will follow accordingly. So what do you guys think about this? I think this is huge news. I think this is really great news if you're holding XRP, because once again, Ripple is incentivized to have the value of an asset they own go up, right? Who wouldn't? If I had a ton of XRP, my number one thing is get that value higher, because of course it's going to be beneficial for them financially. And we know they are invested in the community. I know they invited people to the Swell conference. They interact with the community. So they are certainly, thinking about the XRP investors. Obviously, they can't come out and say certain things. We know that, right? Because of laws and so forth. But you see the moves they make, the interactions they have. They are certainly, they care about the XRP investors. So hope you guys get it. Hope you think about it, not just from the crypto perspective, but the investment, the bigger holistic picture view, right? I hope you guys get that. So leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please help share this video if you found it helpful. And I'll talk to you guys later.